We are back here at field number 2 for game number 2 of Dolphin softball, where they're taking on the Lynn Fighting Knights, and where they trail 1-0 here. Once again, Andrew Rotundo joined by Joe Foreman on the call. Joe Foreman just getting together a few stats and getting underway here as we got set just a little late, as the change of field was a little deceiving here. They started a little earlier than we thought, but we are here for inning number 2 as we have a play throw down to home.
Well, you're going to have to help me, Andrew. What just happened? I was setting up the equipment. Okay, so did we have a walk on that play or a strikeout? What happened?
I believe it was a strikeout.
Okay. It was a runner tried to advance to third. So we'll put a strikeout in. Hopefully someone can help us with that later. But do you know if it was swinging or looking?
Swinging.
Strikeout, swinging. An advance to second base. And then we had an advance to third base. And then a 2-5-2 put out at the plate. If I'm not mistaken. Let's see if this scores properly.
And they also added a run up on the boards. It's now 2-0 Fighting Knights. So they were able to get a run in.
Well, there were 2 on base? No, that is not correct, unless the run scored safely. Wait, I thought. So what's the score? Runner is safe at first on an infield single, and the Dolphins have another out at the plate. Well, that would have been the third out. The run scored.
Yeah, there was a close call at the plate.
We have a stats disaster. Andrew, you carry us through here. I'll try and take care of this.
All right. We have a 2-0 game here already, top of the second, as we try and get our stats underway here for this game. Now we're going to have a little meeting here. Lynn coaching staff wants a word.
So they're giving on the strikeout with the runner reaching first. They are saying that is an out in this program. That is obvious. So we'll make that a walk for now. So the run scored from second.
We are back. Had some audio issues there, had some stream issues, still having some statistical issues as well, as Lynn find themselves ahead 4-0 as Mockery swings and misses for the second out of the inning for the Dolphins.
All right, Andrew, so I'll explain what happened. In between games, the rain started to fall. We retreated alongside the building, the administrative building, where there was a small overhang that provided us some cover. While it was raining, we waited there and then began moving to the next field with our operation, where the Dolphins are currently taking on Lynn University Fighting Knights. We finally made it, and once we settled in, we had 2 obstruction calls on the base paths in the same inning that resulted in 2 runs. So those 2 runs come home to score. The scoreboard incorrectly read 5-0, so we were confused. We were told by multiple different people down on field level that 5-0 was the correct score. We fixed it. Well, they fixed it. We were correct. It was 4-0, and that brings us to the 3rd inning. We'll step aside, take a quick break. We'll be right back.
All right, we are back. Andrew Rotundo alongside Joe Foreman for the start of the third inning. Lynn up 4 runs to nothing through 2 full innings. And up at the plate is Faith Miller, who's 0 for 1 in the game for Lynn so far. She leads things off against Edwards. First pitch from Edwards, down low for ball 1. Helter-skelter, to say the least, through these first 2 innings for everybody on field level and up here as we continue to get things sorted out. 1-1 count here for Faith Miller. That's swung and hit on deep to left center. That's going to find the gap. That's out of here. Home run for Faith Miller. A solo shot makes it 5-0 in the top of the third.
We haven't seen a ball hit like that all day, Andrew. That ball was crushed over the left center field wall. Now, it's a very unique situation in the outfield where there's a hill behind the wall, and they're both green, so it's a bit hard to track that softball over the fence, but that one certainly made its way over. And it looked like Acosta made a brief effort at it there at the end, but she had to watch it sail over her head and over the fence.
And it looked like it had a chance to stay in, and it just kept sailing. And over the fence it goes, and Lynn now with a demanding 5-0 lead here, top of the third. In which brings the second baseman, Josie Sumpty, to the plate. Takes his first pitch inside for ball 1. Starting to feel a few more raindrops here, Joe.
No doubt about that.
Here, as this is hit on the ground towards short. Picked up on the ground towards first, and safe is the call. Down at first, Josie Sumpty beats out the throw. And so Lynn keeps moving after the home run. An infield single.
Where was that hit, Andrew?
To short.
Thank you. I'm still trying to fix the obstruction calls in the first inning, doubling as commentary and statistician. This has been one of the wildest starts to a game I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
And now we have another score sheet imbalance.
Lynn Sophia Jimine at the plate for Lynn.
Well, Andrew, the names on the roster won't be full names, so you might need some help with a roster online. For now, you'll have to do your best. That is her full name? It's not Jimenez? That's just a guess on my part.
Could be Jimenez.
That's what I would think. What's the number?
Number 11.
It is Sophia Jimenez.
Jimenez. My mistake. This live stats, the names in the live stats cut off the names here.
That's how Stat Crew operates, unfortunately.
3-0 pitch from Edwards. That's going to find the zone for strike 1. Still nobody out in the inning. Dolphins trying to bounce back as this is hit on the ground. Foul. It's 3-2. Full count now for Jimenez. Dolphins trying to bounce back from their loss in game 1 of the day. Lost by a score of 12-4. Find themselves trailing 5-0 in this one to Lynn. This is hit hard down the left field line, and another foul ball from Jimenez. Count stays 3-2.
Well, Andrew, it's beginning to rain again. And if the rain is anything more than a drizzle, we're going to have to call the broadcast. It's drizzling right now.
That pitch rolls down. That's going to be ball 4. So a walk. That'll bring up a circle visit for the Dolphins. As Coach Garofalo finds a way out to the circle, and that will do it for Edwards.
So the Dolphins' flex player, Alexandra Frenza, is going to come in to pitch. And with that, we'll step aside and take a quick break as we continue to work on our stats issue. We'll be right back.
And we are back. Pitching change as Frenza comes in for Edwards in the circle. Edwards' day is done. Frenza will try and get the Dolphins out of this inning. Still down 5-0. There's a big swing and a miss. Getting a piece of that was Prickard. It's 0-1. 0-1 down. That's inside. That'll even the count up. There are runners at first and second for Lynn, with still nobody out in the inning. And the 1-1 pitch on the way. Sails a little high, and it's 2-1.
Okay, I think I may have fixed it, Andrew. We had 2 obstruction calls in that inning back in the second, and that completely derailed the live stats because we weren't sure how many outs there should be, but I think I've gone back and corrected everything. So we should be good the rest of the way. We'll see after this next play, but I think we're going to be all right. I have never seen this in 7 years of covering Dolphin softball. 2 obstruction calls in the same inning.
That was incredible.
I don't think I've ever seen that. Now, that did fix the stats. We are good to go. I have seen an obstruction call to end a game on the base paths over at first base. I know you remember that one. You were engineering.
I do remember that.
We didn't have a view of it. I was a bit frustrated.
I do remember that. Last season.
Yes. All right, I'll take my chair back. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, I have the stats computer, so I need the seat. We'll make sure we're not tangled as that's it out to deep left field. Acosta ranging back, glove up, and the ball falls on the warning track. 2 runs will come in to score, and then both runners on the bases will advance on the throw.
Now just in the 3rd inning, Joe, just 1 run away are the Dolphins from a mercy rule.
We would have to play through 5 to get to that point, but the Dolphins
That's right.
are in a bad spot right now early in this game.
Clouds continue to roll in here, Joe.
2 on, still nobody out. Both runners on the base paths in scoring position. And I'll have to take a seat as once again, stats are giving me problems here. That should do it.
Swing and a miss.
So officially, that's going to go down as a single and an advance on the throw. And the rain's beginning to get heavier. We'll give this another couple of minutes, and if it doesn't improve out here, we'll have to cut the stream short.
Still just one out in the inning here, Joe, and runners in scoring position. Things looking bleak right now. That's another base hit.
That won't help, as that's an error in left. That allows the runner to go first to second following the base hit, and it allows a second run to score. And I can't get any rearrangement of our equipment in for a second before another play happens. So we'll be heading to break shortly in between innings, and at that point we'll make a decision on whether or not we can stay on the air. Our laptop is covered. That's not the problem. It's the audio equipment right now that's exposed outside. So we'll see how much longer we can go for you. Moving in a bit closer to the building here. That might help. Andrew, you can take it away from here as that pitch sails up high.
All right.
Game one went about as smoothly as we could hope. We were on the air very early, had the lineups, and were good to go. We didn't miss anything. Game two, with the bad weather, has proven to be a different beast.
Yeah, absolutely. Things making it very difficult here, and all the confusing calls down on the field as well, and the rain, and a lot of different things happening in this game, making it difficult. Nonetheless, Lynn finds themselves up 9-0 here in just the top of the third inning. A 5-run inning so far, and they still have just one out in this inning. A 3-1 count down the way, and that's another walk issued. Taylor Scala will take her spot at first. And still just one out in the inning, and now first and second for Lynn. Amy Godme comes up to the plate. Swinging at the first pitch and fouling it away.
Okay, once again, I'm caught up. Hopefully, we can stay with you the rest of the way. Right now, the equipment is protected. We'll see how long that lasts. Runner at first is Amy Godmere. She just drew the walk. Morgan Simpson stands over at second. Check that, Amy Godmere at the plate. Taylor Scala on first and Morgan Simpson on second. You said it, Andrew, 5 runs home in the inning. The Dolphins trail 9-0. That's taken for a ball.
It all kind of started in that second inning with all those weird plays that happened. 2 misplays at the plate by the Dolphins. This is hit high in the air, infield.
That's an infield fly.
Absolutely.
Another one.
Second out. Second today we've seen. And just one out here left in the inning for Lynn. And what just seems to be an endless inning. 5 runs across to make it 9-0 here in the top of the third.
Did that go to third or short, Andrew? I think short.
I'm blanking on that.
Okay.
That went to short.
That's what I thought. As that pitch hits the batter.
Yeah, that's a hit by pitch, and another walk issued here. Bases loaded for Lynn with 2 outs in the inning.
That was Faith Miller hit by that last pitch. Another good question is how many batters have come to the plate in this inning? Josie Sumter will come to the plate now. Let's see if we have that information here. That pitch sails outside for ball 1. That swung on and missed. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Big swing and a miss there from Sumter.
And that pitch catches the inside corner. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes on the Fighting Knights second baseman. They have jumped all over Dolphins pitching early in this game. A pair of obstruction calls really did the Dolphins in, as that is ripped foul down the left field line.
Just foul. I mean, Sumter got all of that. And just a little out early in front of it. Count stays 1-2. Dolphins remain just 1 strike away from finally ending this inning.
Well, the good news is, it appears the rain has stopped. Or at least has lightened. That pitch misses down in the dirt. Count evens up at 2-2. So in this game, Dolphins pitching has walked 5 and allowed 7 hits and 9 runs. How many of those are earned remains to be seen. I'll have to go back and rescore the innings. But right now, of the 9 runs, we have 6 earned. But that is certainly unofficial at this point. We have to go back and take a look at those obstruction calls because I believe the first obstruction call would have resulted in an out. And that's going to be a walk.
That's going to make it 10-0, Joe. It's going to drive home the runner from third.
The inning continues, and Sofia Jimenez will be the batter.
Yeah, Lynn has blown this wide open here in the third.
Jimenez 0 for 1 at the plate. Has scored a run in this game. That pitch skips in for ball 2, and very quickly, count is 2 balls and no strikes. That's up and away for ball 3.
In danger of walking another batter here. 3-0 count. Bases are loaded, so it would score another run.
That finds the zone. So Frenza stays in the at-bat and circle. Jimenez still in the driver's seat ahead 3 balls and 1 strike. And that misses inside for ball 4.
Well, there it is, another walk and another run to make it 11-0. As Taylor Scala comes on home for that run and going to have a meeting in the circle now for the Dolphins.
Dolphins with 1 out to get here. Bases remain loaded. Coming to the plate in this spot will be Madison Prickett.
7 runs in this inning for Lynn. 2 of them coming across on runs, at least 2. On walks, excuse me.
Lynn already 7 hits in the game. The Dolphins with just 1 error. Prickett is the 11th batter to the plate for Lynn in this half inning. She took a big cut there and came up empty for strike 2.
Nice pitch there from Frenza. Big swing and a miss.
That sails up and away. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Frenza 1 strike away from getting out of the inning. That's hit in the air, foul. Comes the 1-2. That's it out to center. Playable. And the catch is made to retire the side, but not before the Fighting Knights score 7. They lead Staten Island 11-0, heading to the home third. We are back from the Legends Sports Complex in Claremont, Florida. It's gotten awfully quiet here. I think we might be one of only 2 games going on right now.
Yep, just 2 games going on right now.
2 games. Likely the last 2 of the day, if I'm not mistaken. The weather certainly took a turn for the worst. But we're still with you. The rain has eased up, which means we stay on the air for now. Dolphins in a big hole early in this game. Sophia Didana is the batter. She's behind the count here, 0-1. That slap to the left side, handled it third, and the throw is just in time.
That's a hefty throw there from third. I mean, that had to be a heavy one.
Very strong throw across the diamond right there. That was Sofia Jimenez over at third base. Nicely done. And there's one away. That will bring Alyssa Acosta to the plate.
Just got Didana by a step there at first.
Awfully close play. Acosta's 0 for 1. She takes out of the zone. Dolphins still looking for their first hit. That one finds its way to the backstop. Looks like that may have caught the glove of Maya Reinhardt behind the plate on the way to the netting behind home plate. Acosta ahead in the count here, 2-0. And she takes up and away.
Good takes here by Acosta, being very patient at the plate so far. It's paying off, 3-0.
And she draws a 4-pitch walk.
Nicely done by Alyssa Acosta there. 4-pitch walk. Couldn't ask for anything better there. Any more patience on the plate from Acosta to take 4 straight.
That pitch is looked at up and away by Sabrina Caffel, newcomer to this Dolphins squad. She's now ahead in the count, 1-0, and all of a sudden, Prickett has missed with 5 straight. They'll throw behind the runner at first as Prickett missed with ball 2.
Yeah, Prickett has looked solid so far. I don't want to come unhinged now.
Two and one the count now as that's chopped to the left side, booted at third, but able to recover and make that throw across the diamond was the third baseman Jimenez. Advancing to second is Acosta, and there are 2 away.
I don't think they could have made that double play.
No.
If they tried. And they go for the easy second out. Edwards at the plate for the Dolphins.
And Madison Edwards looks at ball 1. Okay, so I finally figured out how to put the runner on first base following a strikeout. You have to credit the catcher with an error in that spot. It's the only way to get the runner to first base.
Oh.
There's a big cut by Edwards, but nothing doing there. And the count's even at 1 ball and 1 strike. So we'll take care of that between innings, and we should be all good from there. The last thing we want to do is get caught in a rainstorm trying to fix the stats after the game. That pitch is high. And the throw sails into center field. So they throw behind the runner Acosta. That will go down as a stolen base.
I think Lynn thought that she was still at second. They throw down to second. She was already halfway to third.
You don't see that too often.
Definitely a miscue there by Lynn, and Dolphins will take advantage. Still 2 outs in the inning, but they have a runner at third.
This has been some start to this game. We're still relatively early as that's fouled away. And the count evens up on Edwards at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, just the bottom of the third. 11 runs through 3 innings for Lynn so far. Just incredible stuff.
Still not as many runs as we saw in the first 3 innings of the last game. 2 teams combining for 12.
That's right.
And that's a good off-speed pitch that swung on and missed. Throw goes to first, and that'll do it for the Dolphins in the home half of the 3rd inning. The score remains 11-0 Lynn. And we're back from the Legends Sports Complex in Claremont with CSI Sportsnet coverage of the 2023 Spring Games. College of Staten Island taking on Lynn University. Pitching change for the Dolphins. Alyssa Zangrilli into the game for the College of Staten Island. And her first pitch is hit in the air out to left field. And the catch is made for a quick out number 1.
Oh, 1 pitch and 1 out for Zangrilli.
So now that I have a moment to compose myself after finally adjusting the stats to correctly reflect the action, we'll recap a bit in case you missed the start of this game, which everyone did because the rain and lack of lineups kept us off the air. In the first inning, leadoff single, stolen base, wild pitch, line out to short, as that swung on and missed by Maya Reinhardt. She's the batter with 1 away here in the top half of the 4th. Continue the recap of the inning in just a moment. And the 0-1 skips in for a ball. So single, a stolen base and wild pitch, a line out, and then an RBI bunt. Brought home the lone run in the first. 2 out of 3 runs in the second scored on obstruction. And then the Dolphins had a really rough 3rd inning where the Fighting Knights sent 13 batters to the plate and scored 7 times. That brings us to where we are now in the 4th inning with the Dolphins trailing 11-0.
Yeah, and it all started, I think, with those obstructions. That's where it all started going downhill, those few innings. Not something you see. Even 1 obstruction is not something you see every day, let alone 2.
Figuring out how to score it was the fun part. I knew how to input the obstruction. However, there was no indication that we had obstruction until well after the inning. Tracy Garofalo was very upset during that inning. I don't know if she was aware that that run had been counted. I certainly wasn't. I thought the Dolphins had recorded an out at the plate. Then the scoreboard had an extra run on it. We were told multiple times the scoreboard was correct. In the end, we were vindicated.
Right.
But by then, the Dolphins were already trailing by 4 runs. And that swung on and missed for strike 3. Good-looking high heat there from Zangrilli.
Yeah, despite the score. Zangrilli making something of this inning. 2 up, 2 down, including a strikeout. One's going down swinging.
Two gone here in the top half of the fourth. We have a substitution. Andrew, let's see if you can get me a number. 7. All right, we got it.
Looks like you got it for yourself there, Joe.
Sure did.
Didn't have a chance.
The home plate umpire looked at us. I appreciate that very much. A lot of the time they forget about the official score. Pinch hitter into the game in this spot for the Fighting Knights. Stepping to the plate for her first at bat of the game is Monique Poitevin. So Poitevin comes to the plate for the first time. Senior from Coral Springs, Florida. She's behind in the count here, 0-1. And she looks at a called strike 2.
Yeah, I like this intensity from Zangrilli. Not letting that score bother her at all, phase her at all. She comes right out. She's breezing through this inning.
What I like most, Andrew, is that she's throwing strikes.
Absolutely.
Now, I moved my microphone a bit. I said what I liked most is that she's throwing strikes. And we saw the Dolphins struggling to find the zone earlier. Now, the count might be backwards. The home plate umpire made sure to signal. Not sure if that means the count on the board is wrong, and it was right. I thought so. As Poitevin goes down swinging to bring this half inning to a close. So, Dolphins trail by 11. We'll be right back.
We are back from Legend Sports Complex for the 5th inning of play. Dolphins find themselves down 11-0 entering this 5th inning of play. Zangrilli, despite the score, Zangrilli had a pretty impressive inning in the circle for the Dolphins in that last inning.
And we do apologize for you missing the last half inning. It was a very quick half inning, but we had mass substitutions on one side. Now, the substitutions are passed behind home plate. We are not down there right now because we broadcasted Game 1 from the second level of the complex outside the administrative building. So we stayed up here. There was a bit more cover as the rain came down, though ultimately, if we had been able to get down to field level, that would have been better. We'll make sure to get down there tomorrow. We did have a pinch hitter as well to open up this half inning. That's popped up on the infield. Fair ball down the right field line. And it's a pinch hit bloop single for Isabella Riddle.
That looked like it had a chance to go foul, and like you said, just bloops right behind first base in the grass and just puts the brakes on and stays right in front of the line, and that's a fair ball.
And we're going to have another pinch hitter here. Can't wait to get these defensive changes next inning. Christina Leone will be the pinch hitter. Knights giving some of their reserves an opportunity with a large lead. Christina from New York, says the visiting dugout. We're from New York.
You're from New York, Joe.
That's a good point. You are not from New York,
I am not
though.
from New York.
We traveled out of New York, so
we did travel out of New York.
Technically, we are from New York this weekend.
And I work with you in New York.
Yes.
New York area. We'll keep it at that.
And the 0-1 sails up and in. One ball and one strike the count on the Fighting Knights pinch hitter. And that's hit in the air out to right center. And able to make the catch, barely, was the center fielder. Mockery converging as well, coming over from right field on that play. And holding on the way down to the turf there was Didana. That was not an easy play once she lost it.
Not at all. She had to fall to her knees to keep control of that ball, make sure it was in her glove. Nonetheless, she's able to get it and hold on to it, get the first out. Impressive play.
That pitch is taken for a ball. Now, do we have a pinch hitter here? I don't believe so. Nope, we did. Unless we missed the change in the previous half inning, we did. So I'll get that change put in right now. There was certainly a change over at first base in the last inning. Okay, so number 19 not on the roster. We'll check the website. They did have their starting pitcher in this game, Madison Prickett, wearing a different number. There was also no 19 on the roster on the web, so see if we can figure out who this is. As that pitch is swung on and missed, and the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. For now, she's in the box. Score is 19. But we'll get that fixed hopefully before the game is over. Count is now full. And I said it before, Zangrilli came in throwing strikes. Just cover that up a bit more, Andrew, as the rain begins to fall a bit harder. Comes the payoff pitch, and that's it out to left. It may not leave the infield, and ranging back to make the catch is Caffel.
What do we got, Joe?
Only one runner on base. That's what we have, Andrew. Oh. That's not an infield fly.
It's not.
You thought it was.
I thought it was for a second.
Only one runner on there.
Yeah.
2 gone in the inning, though.
You're right.
We love a good infield fly here at CSI Sportsnet.
Guess I was just a little too anxious for it.
2 away in the inning. And I think we may have a change here as well. We'll see. We do. Now, I don't know if we had a pinch hitter here or a defensive change last inning. For now, we'll put the pinch hitter in. As that pitch is in on the outside corner.
Good pitch by Zangrilli there. She keeps fighting this inning away. She had a good inning the last one. 1, 2, 3. Let's see if she can get out of this one, which is giving up the 1 runner on base.
Two balls and 1 strike the count. At the plate right now is Cameron Bazell. She did come in as a defensive replacement in the last inning. That's taken up and away for ball 3. Here comes the 3-1. That's fouled straight back, and the count's full. Runner will be going on this pitch. 2 away here in the top half of the 5th. Payoff pitch upcoming to Bazell. That's down in the dirt for ball 4.
That'll keep the inning going. Dolphins were just 1 strike away from getting out of this inning once again. And down in the dirt, issues a walk as the rain starts to heavy up a little bit here, Joe.
Rain has been on and off throughout this game, but right now our equipment is protected enough. Now, Andrew, if you want, take this, just lean this over our mixer a bit as that pitch is in for a called strike. Now the rain's beginning to pick up again.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's almost easier to stay in the position we're in right now than it is to break down in the rain. I'm trying to get as close to the building as possible to protect the stats laptop. We'll definitely bring towels tomorrow. That was a bad oversight on our part, though the forecast did not call for any rain. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count on Jimenez, and that is chopped foul.
It is Florida, Joe. Temperatures and weather can be deceiving on the TV screens down here in Florida.
Here comes the 1-2, and that's it out to center. Didana is there, and it's over her glove. Well, she never touched it, but I think that goes down as an error.
Yeah, absolutely. She was very close to that. I think she could have made that grab.
Did she lose it in the lights is the question.
I think so, and I think it just kept sailing on her.
If you lose it in the lights, I'm not sure you can give an error on that one.
Nonetheless, Lynn really up in this game. 13-0 is the score now.
I think that's a routine fly ball. That has to be caught. I think that's an E8.
I have to agree.
She was settled underneath it for about 2 or 3 seconds, and the ball dropped behind her.
Yeah, I thought that was the end of the side there.
So did I. So a pair of unearned runs will come in to score on that play. That's a bad break for Zangrilli in the circle. She'd been pitching well.
Yeah, got through that last inning, as we mentioned. Didn't let the score bother her one bit. Got through it 1, 2, 3 with 2 strikeouts back-to-back in that last inning.
1 ball and 1 strike to count on the pitcher, Maddie Prickett. She takes a big cut at that last pitch and comes up empty for strike 2.
That was a strong pitch from Zangrilli. A hard whiff from Prickett.
Zangrilli's looked pretty good since coming into the game. Has demonstrated some good stuff in the circle. Swing and miss stuff as that misses low.
Well, despite the obvious negative, they definitely have a small positive going forward as Zangrilli seems to be very promising in that circle.
Comes the 2-2. And that's in for a called strike 3. That will bring the inning to a close. Last chance for the Dolphins to score at least 6. They trail 13-0 heading to the home 5th. Last chance here for the Dolphins in the home half of the 5th. Fighting Knights return their outfield from the previous inning after a couple of pinch hitters at the top of the lineup in the top half of the 5th. There's a big swing and a miss by Mockery for strike 1. 1-1 is the count on the CSI right fielder. That's taken outside. Two and one the count. Pitch on its way. And that's lined down the left field line. Foul ball.
That was very close.
I think they got that call right,
They
though.
did.
Mockery can't believe it. I think they got that one right.
Yeah, I saw it. I had a good angle from here, Joe. That was definitely in foul territory.
I agree with you. So the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes on Mockery. Dolphins still looking for their first base hit. And Mockery swings and misses for strike 3.
And if you're Lynn University, that's a good start to the inning to try and finish this game out. Nothing you want more there than a swing and a miss for the first out.
Fighting Knights 2 outs away from a win over the College of Staten Island as Victoria Whalen takes outside. Fighting Knights earlier today lost to Concordia St. Paul by a final score of 3-0. Whalen now behind in the count 2-0 here. Or I should say ahead in the count 2-0. And the 2-0 misses up high. Oh, late strike call.
Did not.
All right.
Apparently that caught the zone.
I have no problem with the call. I just didn't expect it when it came.
Exactly. Very late.
Just a bit. And the 2-1 catches the inside corner.
Now that one was a little controversial.
Perhaps. The man with the best angle made the call. You and I are offset to the right just a bit. So that inside pitch looks a bit more pronounced inside.
Valid.
Here comes the 2-2. And that's up high. Count full on Victoria Whalen here. Comes the 3-2. That's fouled straight back.
Yeah, very good battle here for Victoria Whalen. Full count. And once again, despite the score and circumstances here, she continues to work for the Dolphins.
Another payoff pitch on its way. And that's it out to shallow left center, and the Dolphins have their first hit of the game. Whalen takes the turn and will stop at first, and the Dolphins have a one-out base runner.
Well, you kind of felt it coming there, Joe. That was a great battle with Whalen. And Whalen would not go down easy. And she gets a base hit. And Dolphins are in business. That's their first hit of the game, as you mentioned. One on, one out here in their side of the fifth.
And we're going to have a pitching change. Now, hopefully, we can get a number on the new pitcher. We'll have to wait a few moments. And we got it. New pitcher into the game is Alexis Murphy. Junior from Red Hook, New York. She will take over with one out in the home fifth inning. And while she warms up, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. One out, bottom half of the fifth. Dolphins in a big hole here, but just picked up their first base hit of the game. And we've said this about Victoria Whalen in the past. Certainly someone who works good at bats at the plate. As that's a wild pitch to the backstop. It rebounds perfectly, but Whalen beats the throw.
Great hustle by Whalen. Great look to get down to second. Great heads-up play all around. They have a runner in scoring position here with one out.
Not a bad throw there on that play. Maya Reinhardt still behind the plate for the Fighting Knights. One of only a couple of players who have remained in for the entire game. That's blocked nicely. Two balls and no strikes the count on the Dolphins center fielder. Didana was charged with an error in the last half inning. Misjudged a fly ball in center. Here she pops up on the left side of the infield, and the catch is made over at third for the second out.
Just one out here left for the Dolphins, as Lynn holds this demanding 13-0 lead in the bottom of the fifth.
CSI down to their final out. They have a runner in scoring position, and Alyssa Acosta will be the batter. First pitch to Acosta is down and away. They throw behind Whalen, and the throw nearly skipped it to center field.
Yeah, it could have been dangerous for Lynn. Whalen could have been off to the races for third on that. Good stop by the second baseman.
Dolphins have not made any changes in this game, except for in the circle. They used a lot of pitching in game one, and it appears strategically they've stayed away at least avoided using any of their big arms at length. Alexandra Frenza did get into the game. Didn't stay in too long. No Miramontes, that's no surprise this game. No Acosta. Zangrilli got a chance to pitch. Pitched well. Madison Edwards pitched. She got the start. That's taken down and away. Count 3 balls and 1 strike on Alyssa Acosta. And that's it right back to the circle. It is smothered there. And Murphy throws over to first. 13-0 against Lynn University. And the two teams will shake hands, bringing a close to day 1 at the spring games for the Dolphins in 2023.
Yeah, and that was a tough one for the Dolphins. Is just right from the start couldn't really get anything going, and the pitching staff of Lynn very, very well today in the circle. And it all started with those 2 obstructions back in that second inning. I think started all the chaos for the Dolphins in leading to this downhill defeat, 13-0 the final, but just need to put it behind them and keep moving. It's still an early season, Joe.
Well, I have some stats work to do. You and I will be back tomorrow at the Sleepy Hollow Sports Complex. Different venue. We'll have to double-check the times of our games tomorrow. I promise I have them, just not in front of me. So with that, Andrew and I will sign off. We thank everyone who tuned into our audio stream. Hopefully you coupled it with the video over at Flow Sports Softball. Tomorrow, we get underway in Leesburg at 12:30. Game 2 at 3 o'clock. So 12:30 and 3 o'clock tomorrow. You can catch all of the action right back here on the CSI Sportsnet YouTube channel. Live stats at csidolphins.com. Thanks again for tuning in.